Hello Ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to an ICARUS kind of reaction video today as we take a look at proper live streamed gameplay. Now lots of interviewers got a chance to sit back and try this. Magazine's the usual kind of deal, and I'm hoping to hopefully get a look at this in the near future myself. But yeah, they've revealed it on Twitch. It was a stupid hour for the UK, but we did get a good look at some of the new in-systems. Now I've got a brief overview of this coming up very soon, but this is like my live watching it at the first time, and we'll just talk about some of the stuff you can maybe expect based on all the other info that I've got. This live stream video VOD is up on Twitch as well on their channel, so you go and check it out. And I think they've done some other stuff with some Twitch channels or the actual Twitch platform itself. So we'll see a lot of gameplay, I'm sure, coming out over the next few days. They speak about the game, obviously. They show off their documentary style mockumentary video they did, which is pretty decent. I've shown this before, I've covered it, the news, the info, and what we kind of learned about the premise of ICARUS and how it's a game based on you being a prospector, going to a distant planet, which is ICARUS, and trying to make your fortune off of a very valuable resource or valuable resources. The planet was originally meant to be like a second Earth. That was going to terraform it. That's why it explains there's some sort of human element to the world, while there's human style creatures, Earth style creatures, you get the idea. But it failed, and so that's why they can sort of go there for a while, but it's very dangerous, and this is why these prospectors, you the player, are going to have a hard time every time you go down to ICARUS. If you want more details on that, absolutely go and check out my channel. Go and take a look at the last video I did. So after some little technical hiccups, you can actually whiz along to around the 30 minute mark, something like that, 32, and then you'll get about a half an hour of actual gameplay, I do believe. Now, it does seem like the connection's a little bit stuttery. I wouldn't actually say it's the game. I'm going to have a guess and say it's just down to the internet connection, whatever there's got going on for this event. But otherwise, take away some of the stutters and stuff. We learned a lot, and we can actually see some of the stuff we spoke about last time. The foliage is absolutely gatherable. As they said, you're not going to come across like in Rust where there's only certain rocks you can harvest. Everything here is gatherable. You do the usual, gathering the usual sort of fibers and plant life, and then obviously attacking a tree to get yourself some wood. So yeah, as I said, it is a bit choppy. It's a bit disappointing it is this choppy for their first full reveal, but they're kind of been a little bit blasé. I get the feeling they want to kind of just show the game as it is. They're not trying to overhype it or overmarket it. Obviously they had a snazzy trailer when they first revealed it, but now it's getting to the stages where they can start showing the game. I don't think they want to have it too scripted or too looking 100% not what you would expect when maybe the game comes out. Now the game is meant to be coming out this year, that's the other thing as well, so that's something to bear in mind. So if you don't know, the quick premise is that, as I said, the planet you're on, you have to gather these resources, you have to pretty much start over from beginning. I saw a few comments from people saying that why are spacemen or advanced earthlings having to go down this route, and pretty much they've spent all their money to get here. They've cobbled together the money to make themselves airdrops, and they really don't have a lot. Also the weight aspect I think plays a part in it, like how much technology, how much stuff can you take with you when you're traveling to another planet. So it gives a nice, neat excuse why you've got to build up again. So a few things we learned, we've got attributes: health, stamina, strength, agility, perception. Something new for, I guess, a lot of survival fans, open world ones like DayZ and Rust, having this kind of stuff. We get a look at the crafting system, and it's very similar to other games you played like Ark and Conan, etc. Going up in levels with different woods and tiers, from having just like wood stuff and stone up until metal. And you can see there we've got the crafting and the resources, all very little neaty boxes, quite small actually. I'm always a big fan of big UI, big and simple, and it just looks very much a little bit fiddly for me with all the boxes there, the different UI menus popping up. But hey, I guess they're trying to make it look a little bit more futuristic. The idea is that you can see you've got the level up, so simple gathering stuff, getting resources is going to give you experience. I'm presuming killing creatures and likewise is going to give you experience. And it looks nice, like the world looks nice. We've got some wildlife running around. We've got a little wolf or snow fox there, something like that, picking up all the stone, and now we've got a moderate shower incoming. So it warns you the weather effects is going to be a big part of the game. It's going to be like one of the major parts of why you've got to build a base, because the weather can turn so much. You may have tsunami storms, you may have all sorts going on, maybe meteor showers, and it's pretty much a case of you having to make sure you are safe in a base or somewhere. So you can see the voxel design on the rocks there as well. Like, you won't just bash one rock and get the resources, you have to actually carve into it eventually before it disappears. And we've got the crafting menu, which is a queue. So you can see you've got slots there for what, maybe five slots, and it seems to be pretty quick. Unlike, you know, taking forever in Rust, it is going to be a bit more quicker to get your tools and your weapons. And here's a better example. So very much borrowed from games like Deep Rock Galactic, although I've seen this in other games as well. Conan Exiles had this system they put into it where you smash the rock and it actually adds a little bit more, you know, immersion. You're actually hitting pieces of rock and you're gaining stuff, smaller intros from it. You can actually carve something. We've seen that in Valheim recently as well, sort of the voxel gathering as you go through. So maybe there'll be room to make your own like mini caves and constructs. I don't know. The rocks, they've said every rock is like harvestable. I don't know if that accounts for landscape as well, but it'd be interesting if that was a feature. Same thing goes for the woods. If you've ever played the forest, you know that satisfactory feeling when you're chopping a tree down and out it falls, rather than just gathers the resources like in Ark. And I'm using big terms from other survival games because I think that's pretty fair. You know, every survival game under the sun has been out now. So what is ICARUS going to be doing, or what are they iterating on to make even better? And they've spoken a lot about the loop, how it's nice, relaxing, but you've also got to make it interesting to gather resources. And definitely voxel gathering like this, where you get individual parts from something, it does make it a bit more interesting. We're seeing it running theme at the moment that everyone gets the ump because they get killed by a tree in Valheim. Doesn't look like that maybe will happen completely, although they have said that actually if you fell a tree near your base, it could destroy your base, so you have got to be a bit careful. Now obviously the storm is kicking up a little bit now as well. It's raining, the visibility's gone down low, gained about 4 levels in the space of a few minutes playing and just going mad and gathering. I'm guessing they're trying to get a lot of wood to maybe build a base before this storm gets any worse. This is the first time I'm watching this stuff. I want to give like a live commentary. I mean, I skipped ahead a couple bits just to see what kind of points there was. I ain't gonna lie, I'm in a rush today. Got lots of stuff doing, but I wanted to get this video out and show you guys what I thought about the game. So far, I like it. The color palette is quite muted. It's quite realistic. It was the same sort of, I would say, I don't want to say dull, but it does look a little bit un-alien-like, and I think that was a conscious decision. As they said, the terraforming of this planet meant that it was going to be meant to be a bit like Earth. They've listed that in their roadmap plans going forward, or I hazard to say roadmap, but in stuff going forwards, they are maybe going to investigate maybe going into more exotic landscapes and have more exotic creatures in the game. Because at the moment, there's a couple of alien-style looking creatures we saw from the trailer, but the majority of the stuff that you're going to be coming up against is the typical sort of bears, polar bears, brown bears, foxes, etc., deers. They're calling this the first cohort, and that's going to be the first stage of the game. And then I guess if it's successful and they go to the next stage, they've got second stage and third stage, and these are the ones that might start introducing a little bit more exotic elements to it. Maybe we'll be going to a different planet, or maybe it'll be certain situations where one part of the planet is more exotic. That's what I've got from looking at the website and checking out a few details. So yeah, all good stuff, typical survival stuff. I said it does feel just a little bit, I've got to say it, bland. I'm going to say it. It's green, it's topical. I guess that's what the real world looks like. I don't know. There's not a lot of, apart from the rain falling down, and it is dark, I'm not feeling as much atmosphere. But obviously, because I'm watching it on a pretty shoddy stream, I'm guessing maybe I'm not taking it in as much as it would be actually playing it. We do get to see some of the other building stuff. It looks like you've got to build like sort of a basic foundation and then just build off it, just like you would all modular building systems like you've played in various other survival games. So yeah, if you was expecting like DayZ where you fortify bases or just make really rudimentary camps, no, that's not the case. It is going to be full blown. You can build yourself a cozy little cabin. You can build yourself a nice little wooden construct and stuff. So yeah, pretty interesting. Now we've got a resource here, oxide, and they seem to be gathering and picking up quite a bit of, so I'm guessing it's going to be some sort of ore that we can refine, and that's going to be an important part. You've got the oxygen levels there as well in the menus. I'm not pausing and speeding over all this stuff. Some of it is going to be so subject to change. I think it's probably worth really digesting some of this stuff when we know we've got a release date and they're showing gameplay off near that time. It's still very early. I still reckon they've got a lot of stuff they'll be changing, so I don't necessarily want to dig deep into something that might not actually end up being that way. But yeah, we know there's going to be oxygen. It's going to be a big part. Managing your oxygen, I'm guessing having some sort of generator to generate oxygen, purifier or something. I guess that's going to be a big part of the game as well. And if you don't know, if you don't make it off the planet when the time has come, so these instances can last maybe half an hour. Some instances can last like a month or a couple of weeks. If you don't make it off the planet in that time, you lose all your character progress. Everything you've done is gone. You can only progress if you make it off the planet before the allotted time. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. Now there's quite a lot of crafting options. We've got the armors, the cloth armors so far, just unlocked there. Then we've got the building stuff. We saw tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and you can see tier 4 needs level 20. Again, I don't want to focus on this stuff too much, but all very nice, basic sort of survival elements you come to expect. All the building blocks are there. Lots of drinks and foodstuffs as well, potatoes, a little animal sort of collection there, the carcasses, the different ones that are there. Again, I'm not going to run through them all. I'd rather do that in a more detailed video once we get some, I would say a little bit nicer, not as choppy gameplay, but we did get a brief little look at like real top tier armor there as well, which looked pretty cool. So yeah, go and check out this stream. Obviously you'll hear the devs talking about it, and I'm sure they're going to explain a lot more than what I've quickly briefly covered, but I guess I just wanted to show you guys that ICARUS is, yeah, on its way. It's looking okay. The characters obviously third person as well as first person, so that is a thing. And here's the little base that they've built already. They've got some containers. I really like the containers. I like crafting benches. I like it when they're functional and it's not all just in one. I like the idea that you have lots of different ones, and it does look like that. That's the case here. You've got carpentry, you've got a stone furnace, you've got a normal workbench. So I like all that kind of stuff where you have to do it. Conan Exiles does that really well. It's sometimes going to be a bit overwhelming having so much to have to make and have in your base, but I think it adds a bit of immersion that it's not all just in one single crafting bench like maybe Arc other than the Fabricator. So yeah, good stuff. Let me know what you think about ICARUS. I'll do a more detailed video. I'm sure we're going to get more info come, and hopefully they'll have a video of this stream up on their channel. Maybe I can go over that in a little bit more details as well. And I'll see you right back for more ICARUS takes very soon. Bye bye.